should remember that working with several data sets and data frames really facilitates your work, and collecting several data sets within a data frame, or adding new data frames and adding new data sets actually makes your work easier. But you can also always work with only one data frame. You can just delete these data frames, but remember that at least one data frame will be always presented in your ArcMap document. Activate data frame 1, add LULC Lear datasets and LULC vector to the data frame. So how we can add just first activate data frame 1, and how we can add it, we can put right click button of mouse and add data. So here our both files, LULC extension Lear and LULC vector. So the link of this layer file is broken. Remember that layer file doesn't contain actual spatial datasets, nor their attribute datasets. See that it's we cannot open the attribute table. It always contains symbology. Here is the colors and the link to the actual spatial dataset. In our case, is LULC vector. So why it's have the same color? Can just make changes. Can make changes in our here. Here our polygons, according to land use code, have their own color, while LULC vector is represented in a single color. Just to make a print screen, you can see that the land use of features of dataset are displayed in a single color. The layer file of LULC contains an appropriate symbol to display the land use types. Okay, open the layer properties window of the land use layer file. Click the source tab. What is the data source of the source layer file? So we can know to which source file, source dataset this LULC Lear extension. Let me change the name to LULC Lear. But just remember that this name of your even we change the name of a layer within a table of contents, actual name of the dataset is not changed, but in our case still it has Lear extension. So how we can know the source of the layer file? We can go to the properties and source. We can see that the actual source of this layer file is LULC shape. What does this mean when you change something in the attribute table of LULC? So when we open the attribute table of now we can open the attribute table of your LULC, and we can just delete it here. We can know if we can add new tables or new fields to the table, but actually this table of this vector dataset is not changed. It stays always the same. But when the link is still broken, we cannot open the attribute table if we changed it. So attribute table of the layer file always linked to so it's independent. The data is always linked to LULC vector. So now let's go to the sixth question and activate the data frame 1. Group the layer soil dots and soil map. Name the group layer soil data and save the group layer as the layer file in the workspace directory. Now name the layer file soil data. So we can learn how to make groups of two datasets or two or more datasets. In our case, soil dots and soil map. So how we can group it? We have two options. We right click the button and we can create a new group layer, and we just drop this soil dot and soil map to this new group layer. We can also change the name to soil data, but also there are other options. For instance, we can just clicking with pushing to Control button, or we can we can choose two datasets and right click the button, and we can see here that group. So two options here, and now when we create it as a group dataset, right, if we, for instance, these datasets are active on the view window within data frame, if we make this the group layer passive, well, both of these datasets cannot be represented on a view window. So making group layers also facilitates your work. For instance, soil dots and soil maps, both datasets, vector and point data shape files, are grouped into one group, soil data, and now we can save it as a layer file, in our group, in our workspace. For instance, just click workspace and save soil data as layer. So now actually it should be here. So create another group layer in the data frame 1. Use this time the function new group layer. Name the layer infrastructure. So actually in this case I should use the first tool, but never mind. Let's make it with other option. As I mentioned, I'll just close here. Pushing Control, we choose two datasets, right click of the mouse, group, and now we can make it infrastructure, right? Infrastructure, new group layer, and we can also save it as infrastructure. Actually, it wasn't saved within a data frame. Okay. Just go into the folder and afterwards you save. So the just snipping tool can show that we created a new group layer infrastructure. In the group layer you just created, you want to organize datasets that are related to infrastructure. In this case, these are the datasets streets and paths. These datasets are all represented in your data frame, so you can drag the layers. So actually we answered to this question already. So just, but you can show here that how you grouped, how you made a group, etc. So okay, in the actually it's B, C, D. Let's see. Okay, let's continue. Drag the group layer solder to the top of the table of contents. It's actually in the top. Okay, let's make let's drop the infrastructure to the top. It's when your group layer is active, but when your datasets within a group is passive, you cannot represent them on a view window. So just make it both of them active, and we can just show them on a view window. What has happened to the other layers in the data frame? Explain your answers. When when we put soil data on the top of the table of contents, this polygon always covers the datasets which are beneath it. So this all the datasets, so we cannot see them actually. This is a disadvantage. So when you should always remember that put your point and line vectors on the top in order to see them on a view window. But when you put your raster dataset or a polygon dataset on the top, it covers and it just make invisible other layers. So other layers, layers are invisible now. Invisible now due to soil map polygon that